So hello from Green-Mopeds. So today we are here with the Naxeon Pro and we're on our A30 test track. National speed limit, this bike is supposed to do about high 60s. We've gone over the bike twice before now. We've done the ride review with the Lite version, we've done the comparative review or the static review of the dash and all that sort of stuff. So what we're really here to do today is to just see how it performs on a clear stretch of road. But just to summarize, the main differences between the Lite and the Pro is that the Pro has 40% more battery capacity. So it's 6.5 kilowatt hours of battery capacity, so obviously a lot more range. Even though both versions have the same maximum power of 10.5 kilowatts max, the Pro has 7.5 kilowatts of nominal, and the Lite has 6.5 kilowatts of nominal power. Interesting to see how that translates. One other thing I will say is that this bike, because of its bigger battery, it does weigh 137 kilograms versus 129 kilograms, I think, for the Lite. Obviously, just more battery packed into the bike. So, a couple of things I will talk about though is we've talked about the modes before. So we're currently on zigzag mode, which is the top mode, but behind this button here is the boost function, and the boost function gives you 10 to 15 seconds of boost, but the way to get that actually to do anything, from what I've learned by riding this bike, is to turn off traction control, because if you try and use boost mode, whether you're at static or riding along, if traction control is on, it basically says no, and that's in the dry, so God knows what will happen in the wet. So if we look at the dash, so this is your Android-based dash. You go into the settings, and we've talked about all that before. If you come down here, you've got traction control, ABS, auto recorder. BSD radar is the little bracelets, as they call it, that will detect what's going on around you. But you want to basically turn off traction control. Else, as I said, when you try and do that, use the boost mode while riding, traction control just kicks in and says no, especially for starting off. So it might be interesting to see what happens when I try this with traction control off. The other thing I'll show you, just because it wasn't working last time, is here we have the navigation. So here you can see where we are. We're sort of between the reservoirs around Staines, and we're just going to whiz down the A30 bit there. And it is full navigation. You can type in your destination and it will take you there. So, and you can even have it so that it reads out to you directions there through the bike. So you can actually get full navigation in this bike. There is no other bike that does it this way in our sort of categories. NIU have a navigation system, but it's basically using your phone. This is actually inherent, built-in navigation. The other thing to highlight while we're here again is the recorder. So front and back cameras. Underneath here, if you undo those new screws, there is an SD card and a SIM card actually, and you can take out that SD card and then download everything to your laptop for editing or whatever, or you can actually obviously view it through the bike. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are actually going to record this on the front camera, and the way you do that is by pressing this button, and you'll see it change to a little red dot there to show that we are recording. Okay, and then this button here decides your actual modes. So you've got zigzag, sail, and dynamic. That's eco, dynamic, and sport in any other language, I guess. So we're going to put it in zigzag. We are going to use the boost mode to see what happens, and we are going to record it for prosperity, and let's see how we get on. Okay, so let's go. 30, 40, 50, 60. So the boost lasted until we got to 60, which is quite useful. And now we're sort of out of boost mode and seeing how we get on. So the things like the V-Moto Hunter Pros and all that sort of stuff, they would have run out of steam before that, before this space part of the road as well. So we got to 64, which I guess is probably about right. Okay, so yeah, we'll compare it to the non-boost mode on the way back and then see how we get on with that. So yeah, that seemed pretty impressive actually. Okay, so now we're at the other end, going the other way. This hasn't got as much road as going that way, so but we won't use boost, and we'll see how far we get. Our battery's at half power. Hopefully that doesn't make a difference. Sometimes once you get to about half power it might, but let's assume it isn't going to do that. We obviously need to make sure it's in zigzag still, and we'll just wait for another break in the traffic and then we'll set off. Okay, so no boost, let's go. 20, 30, 40, 50. 60. 61. Okay, so yeah, we ran out road before we could get to top, and it would have, I imagine. Oh no, actually, once you've cut off the boost mode, it would be the same. So really, that was just to compare it from 0 to 60. So we'll put the times up, and then hopefully that will help you in your research. Thanks very much.